Two shows I currently enjoy watching are Ted Lasso and The Ghost and Molly McGee. Ted Lasso is about a positive-minded American coach learning the ins and outs of coaching soccer, but really the show is about how to build a kind and gentle community.
All we need to win are the fellas in this room right now.
Molly McGee is about a girl who moves to a new town and makes friends with a ghost due to her always ongoing project of Enhappifying everyone.
Because Brighton deserves the greatest concert ever. And when it comes to people we care about, McGee's go the extra mile.
Both shows have protagonists that want the world to be a kinder, more supportive, and more caring place. Similarly, both shows have a setup where a character who becomes a best friend starts off as an antagonist. In Ted Lasso, the character of Rebecca starts by hiring Ted so that he will fail and destroy the team she owns that used to belong to her husband.
Ted, I lied to you. I hired you because I wanted this team to lose. I wanted you to fail.
She is resistant to Ted's gifts and desire to make a meaningful connection with her. However, with a little help from a daily treat...
Oh, Ted, I don't really...
Oh, come on, I'll take a looky there.
Oh, those do look good.
Right? Go ahead, take a nibble. That's it. Away you go.
Fuck me. Where did you get these?
He wins her over and shows her the power of his motto. He helps her learn how to believe not just in the team, but also in herself. In The Ghost and Molly McGee's first episode, Molly and family move to Brighton. They move to a more rundown house than they first expected, but end up enjoying the place.
Dad, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love it!
Much to the annoyance of Scratch, a resident do-nothing ghost. When the family annoys him, he decides to haunt them, specifically cursing Molly.
I curse you, Molly McGee! Wherever you go, whatever you do, for the rest of your days, I'll be there, haunting you.
The problem with this is that Molly loves the idea of having a ghost friend that will never, ever, ever be taken away from her.
So now that we're best friends...
Best friends?
Yeah, you're going everywhere I go and doing everything I do, right?
I guess?
Best friends confirmed!
Fairly quickly, because Scratch's curse means he has to stay by Molly's side, a classic case of the comedic rule of unintended consequences, Scratch and Molly simply become the best of friends.
I was driving my little boy to school and I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said, "Be curious, not judgmental." I like that.
From original antagonism to true friendship, both shows highlight how a genuine effort to be kind and make the world better does just that. In the case of Ted Lasso, he slowly gains the respect of the team, even curmudgeonly ersatz Sam the American Eagle, Roy Kent. Ken is very much like Molly McGee's friend Scratch in that they are both grumpy, but are both actually willing to help their friends.
To cheer us up, let's go down in the park and make fun of babies. Little dummies can't even walk.
They're both trying to be better despite the pull deep inside of them to stay as they are. Growth and change are the important ideas in both shows. This is a direct contrast to so many shows over the last decade that show the slow decline of their protagonist into a situation that is much like their original position, only worse. In Molly McGee, in Ted Lasso, and even with Amity and the collector's arcs in the Owl House, pause for a V appreciation moment. The current move in pop culture is towards the idea that it will be hard, it will often be depressing and difficult, but people can change and the world can become better. This is, of course, counter to many of the ideas that are currently bandied about in the political sphere. The idea that you cannot change who or what you are, an essentialist reduction of humans to nothing more than rats in cages that act only on base interest, lies behind the currently increasing battles against basic rights for everyone to be themselves and be left alone for it. Molly McGee says that's the wrong way to think about the world. A community bandstand fallen into disrepair, community action. Watch out, those forces that don't like people's self-determination hate when a community comes together to fix itself. That's almost socialism. She even, like Luz before her and her media cohort peer, Ted Lasso, holds space for people to come around and to change. When we first meet Andrea,
Well, what's this?
It's actually Andrea.
she is a self-obsessed social media addict who takes the spotlight all for herself. She certainly still has these tendencies, but in recent episodes, she shows more and more awareness of her space in the community. She even shows awareness of her privilege. When Molly's at her lowest, Andrea rallies the towns, following Molly's model of community to help the McGee family.
What's going on? Hey, Fondrias! We're doing a big charity event today, saving my best friend, Molly McGee! Sorry, you're what?
In a recent episode, after essentially creating an Amazon Prime app, she takes the unprecedented step of shutting down the service because it's killing local business.
Andrea, what's wrong with the app?
Looks like someone hijacked the compiler to inject a cross-site script attack. But I don't really know, Daddy. I'm just a beginner.
People can change. Amity changed when she got to know Luz in the Owl House. Andrea changed when she got to know Molly, and an entire soccer team that did not truly believe in themselves, did not understand that they could win with passion, grace, and sportsmanship, changed because of their encounters with Coach Ted Lasso. This is not to say that the shows have a Pollyanna view of reality. In fact, Molly McGee specifically shows a town that has lost most of its relevance in economic stability. The McGee family themselves, as alluded to earlier, almost lost their house. They did so because of an all too real possibility in America needing to pay a medical bill. They actually ended up living in their van.
Are you living in a van? In the woods? Huh? What? No, we're camping.
Andrea, inspired by all that Molly has done to better the town, helps buy back the McGee's house. As an aside, Andrea's family, the Davenports, probably could have bought back the McGee household, but Andrea is trying hard not to be like her greedy family. Instead of trying to solve the problem with her money, which would have made the McGees beholden to the Davenports, she specifically rallies the community because Molly and her family have made everyone's life better. This may be a cartoon about the importance of the quest to Enhappify, but it does not lie about the problems of the real world.
So, would you like to, do something? Not really.
Similarly, Ted Lasso does not shy away from the darkness that life is filled with. Ted is going through a divorce and suffers from anxiety attacks, especially at clinch moments. Ted is not the only one who suffers from darkness in his life. Nate's relationship with his father is terse, and the more he tries to impress the man, the less he seems to succeed.
Thank you.
Jamie Tart has a similar confrontation.
You're baldy, what were you thinking? Oh, I'm only kidding, eh?
As another aside, this is interesting because a direct line of abuse can be drawn between their fathers and how Nate and Tart react to each other.
So when I pick on Nate and you laugh,
Yeah,
they think it's okay.
right, because Nate's a weak baby and he can't do anything about it.
We can clearly see how the resentment cycles down through generations and through interpersonal interactions. But whenever Ted needs it most, the people he has helped with his gentle, positive coaching come through for him as well. Ted's goal is to build a team. It's always suspicious when a company refers to those people who are bound to you by monetary considerations as a family. But considering that the word team is Old English for a line of descent, read family, or more originally, that which draws, the team that is AFC Richmond is what draws the characters together. They team up. And just as Brighton teamed up to help the McGee family, Richmond teamed up to help each other. There is darkness and there is sadness in life. Brighton is an economic pit. AFC Richmond is not the best team. It is almost always on the brink of disaster, but it is capable of miracles.
Richmond have done it. With that goal, they'll finish in second place and will return to the Premier League in their very first attempt.
I still remember watching in awe when Bobby Zamora made his 90th minute goal and got QPR promoted, only to be disappointed when I remembered to pay attention later and found that the R's had been relegated again.
Puts it into an area. Keogh! Zamora! Unbelievable!
As I write this script, Super Hoops are playing Burnley, and they seem to be winning the match as long as I don't fuck it up by writing it down, though they are currently near the end of the table. I did mess it up. I looked away for a bit and Burnley scored, but we scored again. All right, Americans, was that enough association football talk? The point is that life is full of anger, sadness, and downright evil, but community is the answer. This might seem naive. After all, there is quite literally a renaissance of Nazism ongoing as they sit behind a computer making videos, and they do not deserve kindness. The Davenport parents might not be worth saving, though I have a feeling they might learn a lesson soon, given the tease at the end of the Andrea Creates an App episode. Some people can only learn from loss, the darkness, the sadness. That's what makes us who we are. But we have a choice. We can become the joyless wraith that Molly temporarily turns into to save Scratch from the flow of failed phantoms. Or we can be her inner truth, someone so filled with joy that mere contact with what haunts us changes it into a path forward.
Everything I touch turns to joy! I'm free!
We can be Roy Kent. Sometimes we need to. We can be Nate the Great, but we can also choose to be Ted Lasso. We can choose to believe, and sooner or later, the miracles start happening. We always lose a way, but then every so often, that special thing happens that shows why we believe. Sometimes Bobby Zamora scores that goal that gets us promoted. Oh yeah, and tying it all together, Ted Lasso, Molly McGee, and Queens Park Rangers. You know what team Zamora played the most for? Molly would love this. Brighton and Hove Albion. And you know the Rangers won while I was writing this.
So if you want the action, and if you want the goal,